Artur,
Win.
hey,
Finally.
gun show. You, you lost you lost 40 pounds. 40 pounds. I made a post about you today, and I got lots of messages. Hey, I want to know more about this client. So you lost 40 pounds, but really, more importantly, 30 pounds of body fat. 30 pounds of body fat from really we started in November, but obviously it was like Thanksgiving and Christmas, so like it was going down, up, and then really from like I think January 1st or end of December,
Yeah.
the graph started going down, And I'm gonna actually I wanna share this very quickly to show you the progress photos I this is today.
Yep.
So so this is January 1st, right? And this is January 1st and April 10th. And since we are here, I can pull out your graph very quickly. So before our program, right? Before our program, you did lots of different programs. Okay, so very quickly, I want to show you a graph, 3 months, starting about even more here, December 26th, 2019, and then very consistently, right? Up and down, but the big graph is going down all the way to 177. And we see if we hit the fat mass, right? It was almost 60 pounds. So that's almost half of the body fat that you had, you lost.
Yep.
Almost half of the entire body fat that you had, you lost. And beside this, what's really, really cool is we saw your blood pressure was pretty high, right? 144 over even 100 on occasions. And then it gradually started going down to even like 124 yesterday or March 31st, a few days ago, 120 over 88, over 85. So definitely there are days which is like perfect, 121 over 82. So that's a big difference considering you had no medication. So I'm gonna stop. Sure, we don't need that anymore, right?
Yep.
And yeah, so when you before the program, before we started training, before we started working together, you did loads of different programs. You did like, pretty intense fasting. And how many programs roughly? Like how long did it take you to do all the programs? Was it like a couple of years, year, two, three, that you did different programs?
I think I went for 5 years. Different
5 years.
different things, I guess. It wasn't like a constantly like it just
All different programs, right? So
different
let's say
programs.
5 years.
Winter.
Haha.
Usually
Up and down. So losing, gaining, losing, gaining. So 5 years, how much weight did you lose in those 5 years?
listen, it was
30 pounds? You started with 250, you went down
it
to
was jumping like we can say like between 25, yeah, 30 pounds,
so
yeah,
30 pounds divided by 5 years.
kind of, yes,
Okay. So
kind
you
of.
you you do the math, you're an architect.
I know the biggest jumps. That's the biggest since I came to United States, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's what my friend told me last week from my city, from Poland. That's original me.
Yeah. So okay. So in 5 years, you lost 30 pounds going. losing, gaining, losing, gaining, losing,
Yeah,
gaining.
yeah,
30 pounds in 5 years. From the heavies, you were about 250, you went down to about 220. And then
yeah.
we started in November. So you get December, end of November, December, January, February, March. Really, 4 months, right? 4 months. And we're talking about Thanksgiving, we're talking about Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah.
4 months, you lost 40 pounds.
Yeah, but
Even more now.
yeah, the difference right now it's huge because uh, even when I lost the weight before, I wasn't, I hadn't been like in fitness conditions like right now.
So you didn't apply anything related to strength, mobility,
No,
nothing.
it
So it was
was
just
only
just
losing,
purely food.
it was only losing weight before, but now I can do sports. I can run. I
Right.
I can do everything what I've been doing like 15 years ago with no pain, no, any struggle. So that's the difference. And I can eat whatever I can,
And you
and
keep losing.
I can
The,
still losing.
that's the thing is I was going to say, and you keep losing, you
Yep.
keep losing the weight. Like even now, you keep losing the weight. I'm gonna pull out your photo over here. I actually I wanna get this uploaded and see if I can have that open next to us. Maybe not. But anyway, so and you keep losing, and now we introduced carbs into your food,
Yeah.
and we talk about like what to do next. How to incorporate whatever we did in the past. We did a couple of different things. We were changing or I don't want to say changing, but like modifying a little bit as we were going, right? There was few different things we've changed and a change again and a change based on where you were, your goals, you were training also. So like you couldn't do anything too extreme because you were training 5 days a week. And there was like only, quick workouts, 20 minutes at home and you still were getting results. But I want to focus in this video on like losing weight and and like a little bit. So you lost 40 pounds in 4 months. You lost body fat, but you got stronger. You start building muscles, right? And and that's what's really cool is not only you lost weight, but now you feel like you can get back to doing sports. And when we got on the call, I said, "What's your goal?" Do you remember that? Where you told me?
First thing, get healthy.
You told me lose this fucking belly.
Yeah.
And but the one thing you told me and I related was I want to be able to do sports because my knees are killing me. I cannot do what I love, right? And for me, I related to that because about 10 years or 12 years ago I broke my leg and I couldn't really do anything. Nothing. And I felt really, really horrible for like 4 months. I'm like, this is the worst time in my life. So when you told me that, I related to that because I knew how you felt. We grew up playing sports all life, and I guess when you do that all your life, you participate in doing sports, right? All of a sudden, when you cannot do something or you're afraid of doing something because of the injury, everything sucks.
That's what. Let's say I skipped to like a 2 season of skiing because of this. I quit volleyball because of overweight.
Tennis.
Tennis. So all my sports pleasure was taken, and I've been doing this whole life, and it's like somebody from your life is gone,
Yeah.
and I cannot afford that.
Yeah.
I
So
love, integrate with people in sports, competition in sports, everything related to this. And hopefully it's gonna be everything fine.
So when you were on a program and you were doing the exercises and majority of exercises you did at home. Then you joined the gym a little later, but that was more for sauna, some recovery, some maybe rowing and ski erg equipment. So like a recovery days. But majority of progress you did it at home with
Yeah,
adjustable dumbbells, bands, physio ball, and basically body weight exercises. So,
and,
so like very minimal equipment, but when you were doing those exercises, did you think, wow, this can get me results, or you're like, oh, it's
because I've been training before soccer and hockey and other thing. I got used to training. Doesn't matter how what I do during the training. I know if you are consistent and stubborn with your goal, sooner or later something's gonna break, and hopefully not bones.
ah. But were you surprised with like
So
maybe the exercise selection? Like, oh wow, those exercises they seem kind of maybe easy, but they are not. And focusing on like, you know,
I was totally surprised because I've been never done any resistance this kind never.
yeah.
And
From your past soccer and hockey, they were pushing you to the limits, right? High intensity, running, sprinting,
yes,
all basically just limits, right?
they just squeeze you as much as can get. You could barely walk.
Right.
So that was for Terminators. This one is for normal people.
But that's what I get sometimes from clients who are getting on the program and they have training history with heavier weights maybe or like bodybuilding training. They think like, oh, it kind of seems easy, right? But then they start getting results and thinking, oh wow, I can do this and get results. And my body doesn't is not broken next day, right? Because you can do things daily, and
You
that's
know,
the kind of
they might look easy, but they are for example dead back.
yeah.
It looks like a child gameplay,
Yeah, so
but it works on every aspects of your body and kind of fun, but it works perfectly. For example, and it
so
looks very easy, and it's
that's
very complicated.
exactly. So that's why, like I pride myself on like really knowing my stuff from point of view of anatomy, kinesiology, biomechanics, but also understanding somebody's goals. Like when you told me you want to get back skiing, right? And I ski, snowboard, I do water sports. So like I really understand the concept that, hey, that this kind of workout is really going to help him out, not only get in shape, but also perform the sport, and that's the kind of like secret behind it. So what do you think about now? Like you said, you stopped all the sports, right? You stopped playing tennis, skiing, and because you were afraid of getting injured. You were afraid, you weren't sure about this. Your joints were bothering you, your knees were bothering you all the time. So like now, at this stage, now you're 178 pounds, and we actually just started another phase. We about to start another phase of training, which is gonna, be building muscles, hypertrophy, strength, power. So there is still so much room for improvement. It's like building a building. Now it's like the second floor and third floor and the roof. Like, do you feel like what's your vision for the future? Like, do you feel like, yeah, I can get back and play sports and actually enjoy them and get better?
I can wait. I'm gonna try as soon as possible, but I'm step by step.
Yeah.
I don't wanna kill myself. the first thing is the safety first.
Yeah.
That
But
whatever.
but but physically, like
Physically,
you had no
I
faith.
feel I can fly.
When we were starting the program, you told me I cannot do anything. My knees are bothering me every day. I cannot run. I cannot do sports. So like now, the way you feel, like do you have a like vision that yeah, you know what? I feel really good and nothing hurts and I feel actually stronger and I'm 40 pounds lighter, right?
Listen, it's like a new life. It's a new body. People think I'm sick. That's the funnest thing because they've never seen me in conditions like this. At least majority of them. But I will going to back to every sport I can and find a joy.
And
That
now we're about to teach you wingboarding. You see all the boards over there? I got too much equipment.
that's that will help with my health, definitely not with my wallet.
Yes, yes, that's true. That's true. But once you get on the water and you start flying, once you start flying, that's priceless.
No, I
Trust me on that. That's
know.
priceless. So listen, anyway, I just wanted to give you, big thumbs up and congratulate losing 40 pounds, 30 pounds of body fat, completely crashing. But like very, very, before we get off, because I know this was not easy, right? And you did everything right. So like in my program, I have many, many people, many clients who are, some of them they're doing everything right and they're getting results. Some of them they're doing, I don't know, 50-50 or whatever you call it, some, and some of them dragging. And then 3 months later, 4 months later, they're not really getting results. And, like what you achieved, it's really astonishing. You lose weight, you lower your blood pressure, you feeling better, knees that, but there was a lot of things that you basically did 100% of what I was asking you, what was on the program. And I know it was not easy establishing new habits, right? Establishing new habits. It took you 4 months, right? So it's not, again, it wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Like, what would you, I don't know, recommend to people who starting up, they have similar goals to you? Like, can you do like a little bit and get results? Like, can you just do like, oh, I'm gonna do maybe one, two workouts a week, and then maybe I can cheat, but then I'll think about food maybe later in 6 months, or you go on an extreme diet like you did, and you did no workouts. So there were pieces missing, right?
Right.
Prior hour workout, prior hour program, there were pieces missing. Maybe it was a sleep and recovery. Maybe it was no training. Maybe there was no, sauna and cold plunge and all those things. So what advice would you give to somebody who's like, hey, I totally relate to him. I have similar goals.
Listen, whatever I do, and I'm going to involve. I do 100%. In this case, there is no shortcuts because it's your health, or new life, or you're gonna stick with your old life, or gonna have the new one, the better one. And I knew I was in a bad place, and I need to change something. And if you have a guidance like you, who went through many many cases, it's much easier because we're avoiding a lot of mistakes. But for someone who want to do that, do whatever it takes. Don't do any shortcuts, because then you can blame yourself. And if it won't work and I do whatever you tell me, I'm gonna blame you. That's very simple.
That's right. It would be the same way as you an architect. If I Yeah, exactly. If I
That's
was
it.
going to design my own house and say I don't need anybody. Let me let me draw everything myself.
If,
And maybe 10 years later, I'm still doing the same thing.
yeah, so it's we'll start this with hope and then with a lot of pain on the beginning, but the final price it's you're extending your life. That's your final price, I guess. We
Right.
will see, we will see. But if you want
Extending
to get
and
healthy,
upgrading, not
I'm,
upgrading. I
when
mean,
we were talking 4 months ago about what is your goal, what is your goal? My first goal always was to get healthy,
yeah,
nothing else. Whatever comes, less weight, more mobility.
it's
It's
bonus.
yeah. Overall, get healthy, and that's the first thing. And whatever comes with this extra, it's a bonus. So you need to you know, there are worse days, better days, but consistency I think is a key here, and just follow by your hints, and that's it.
Well, awesome. Listen, thanks a lot for your time.
Yep,
Okay.
problem.
I want to say stay here for a few more minutes. I want to say goodbye in Polish.
Yeah,
We're going back in time. We grew up in Poland, but we
yeah.
live in New York City. So thank you for your time and advice to other people and amazing results. Can't wait for another level.
Me either.